Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of DarkMatch. It's kind of interesting. A couple of us weren't even supposed to be on the show this week. Tifa and Backlash mysteriously disappeared or something this week. Kind of bailed on us. But we're going to keep on going as usual. I am No Leaf Clover.
I am the Revolver Man.
I am Christopher Says.
Hello, I'm Mr. War Machine.
You know what, guys? I have to be honest. I know we usually do this stupid Iron Sheik thing, but I'm tired of talking about washed up has-beens on this fucking show. You know, I'm fucking done with that. Let's just move to the good stuff, all right?
You know what? I have to agree with you, No Leaf. Fucking Iron Sheik. God, what has he done in the last 10 years?
Yeah, he essentially got famous again for swearing. Ooh. Get in line with a bunch of other famous comedians, you Iranian fucktard.
Yeah,
however,
pretty much
with
just
that,
saying the same things every single time. Variations of fuck, humble, camel clutch, that kind of thing. Hulk Hogan.
I mean, who watches something just to see them curse? I mean, what the fuck?
I know. It's just... but at least we have this to balance it out. The master promo skills of Ken Anderson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you have to understand, like, this entire episode of Impact was just phenomenal. Like, it's 11:15 at night, and we're doing it right after it ended. We're just, like, too excited to do this.
I know. Oh, fuck. I mean, Jesus. I'm trying to think a point when the action led up, and I really can't. There really was no slow part or plotting part of this.
But yeah, it's pretty much like Anderson. The company's just constantly creative. Like, Anderson comes out with Earl Hebner in a headlock based on the whole, like, kind of mic check into the rail disqualification thing. Like, you don't see anyone doing that. It's just like he just keeps on coming up with new things every week. It's like you said about him. He's basically a pastiche of all the best, like Orton and Austin and Rock. Like, just all rolled into one.
He combines them all in such a way that just screams a perfection in wrestling that just wasn't there before, you know?
I mean,
you got to thank God that WWE held him down so hard so he can get to the freedom of TNA and we can really see him shine.
I mean, this promo segment was awesome because we all know that for the last couple weeks, Ken Anderson has been getting screwed out of his title shots. I mean, what the fuck was up with last week with Hebner? Just constantly screwed over this guy.
I feel bad for him. I honestly do.
But even from, like, a booking perspective, like, the fact that, like, Earl Hebner, he says he's threatening to suspend Anderson, like any great face, like, Anderson has a weakness. Like, we actually care about something that might happen to him. But you know what? Like, he might check Hebner like any badass. Like as we were saying, Stone Cold.
Stone Cold did that all the fucking time, and it's just as effective, you know, in TNA as it used to be in the old WWF.
Yeah, and then, like, the tension of this entire thing just increases with Hebner's son Brian coming out, and, like, Anderson, the badass he is, just kind of makes fun.
I mean, let's be honest. When Stone Cold did it, it was cool at first, but after a while, didn't it get boring? Him giving the Stone Cold Stunner to people? I mean, it's always fresh with Mr. Anderson.
I mean, I don't know how he does it. It's just natural talent, I guess.
And, you know, of course, like, all the ingredients coming together, like, TNA has Vince Russo as the booker. Like, he actually put in the line for Anderson that, oh, you're going to screw me. Hebner, you're going to screw me. That was very clever. Like, I'm glad he was able to work that reference in.
And then we all know what happens next. The icon himself, Sting. This guy is so youthful. I mean, really.
Well, that's because he keeps reinventing himself. I mean, when he came out this time, he had that awesome fucking coat, man.
It's impossible that Sting is still this good after all this time. It's insane to me.
But yeah, he he comes out basically wanting him to apologize, and then RVD comes out like the talent just keeps pouring in, and like he announces like a three-way dance at Lockdown. Like he says he wants that. And of course, like Bischoff and Hogan come out, like, and they make it official, and they also say that at Lockdown it's going to be inside a cage. Like how excited are you guys?
I know. Lockdown is probably the best pay-per-view concept in years.
I mean, how can you argue with such a brutal, exciting pay-per-view that they're all in the cage? That's awesome!
I mean, Lethal Lockdown? Fuck your Elimination Chambers. Sign me up for that shit.
Damn right, man. Damn right.
And actually, speaking of this, though, we're going to have to take a dark turn because, unfortunately, since the past week, Spike has been airing ads for WWE All-Stars, and it's like, are they really that like? I mean, I know Vince is like a billionaire, but like, are they really that desperate for attention?
Yeah, you know why he's a billionaire? Fucking stock scams.
Yeah, he's never earned a legitimate penny in his life. All he does is inject his wrestlers with steroids and drugs. I mean, who the fuck uses drugs in TNA? Can you think of anyone?
But yeah,
I really can't.
But the good thing about that is that it takes a good turn instantly. Like they're offering like what they call a spring cleaning sale, shopTNA.com, which like I'm gonna be all over that, guys. Like if I could just get like you know, like all those action figures that they just came out with. I mean, they have all these great figures, but like they also have Desmond Wolfe, who's clearly like the odd one out. Like one of these things is not like the other. What exactly has he done? Like why does he deserve to have that kind of privilege?
I mean, with legends this good, who needs young, fresh talent? I mean...
You mean those fucking vanilla midgets? What the hell?
But, we keep going with the psychology of that match. Like, I'm just glad that they're focusing on what needs to be focused on with, like, backstage promo after backstage promo. We go from Anderson, who again, like the consummate badass that he is, like, tells the camera he's not giving any comment. Not doing it. Sting wants an apology. Like he deserves that. Like in storyline, he definitely deserves that. In RVD, like kind of does his thing. Like who's
and
really
I have to say, sorry to interrupt, but I love how TNA films its segments. Its backstage promos. That is so innovative. You wonder why the WWE doesn't do that more often.
Well, because
that handheld camera, that's so real.
Yeah, like WWE has to. They're too hung up with making everything look presentational and staged, and
it's fucking Hollywood. They got the big cameras, you can see everything. Yeah, like because really in the back you can always see everything.
It just makes everything look fake.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's so real. It makes everything look fake.
But yeah, like now in terms of like, I mean, we've got like the legends in order, and we're going to our fresh young talent like Inc. and with Shannon Moore and Jesse Neal, who are just like making like the best statements that any kind of up and coming stars can do.
I mean, Shannon Moore was so screwed over in the WWE. How did they not find a place for this guy? He's so clearly talented.
It's because they got the fucking comedy writers working there.
All these guys,
they shit on fucking wrestling. They shit all over it. Thank God there's still companies like TNA to show us how it's fucking done. Oh, let's stop talking about WWE. It makes my head hurt.
Fucking WWE. Let's move on. Let's keep it moving.
Yes, it's Scott Steiner. Like, Inc. are talking about Scott Steiner, and they have like an effective argument. You know, like we're talking about more washed up stars. Coincidentally, he and Iron Sheik both do a camel clutch. Boring. Like Scott Steiner, like seriously, it's just sad watching him doing an interview. He's just like, you just can't comprehend anything that he's saying. Like it just makes it.
I don't understand how Scott Steiner is even in this company right now. Who the hell is Scott Steiner? What the fuck has Scott Steiner ever done in this world besides babble incoherently?
And of course, like, I mean, again, like we said, we're not going to talk about WWE, but again, like another instance of mishandling. Now we have a promo by Bully Ray, who's who's like himself completely blossomed with this company. Like finally he's getting a single
it is
push.
It's so great to see Bully Ray finally get the respect he deserves. He got after how many years was he bullshitted around? Now he's finally in the main event. He's finally got a gimmick that works. He's finally got something he can sink his teeth into. I mean, remember back in ECW? Oh, God, fucking The Dudley Boys. Oh, thank God Vince copyrighted that, so we don't have to hear it anymore.
I mean,
yeah, really.
Just think about he had a chance to have a successful singles career, but guess who squashed it? I'll give you one hint. No, I'll give you two hints. It starts with a triple and it ends with an H.
Oh, that talentless, long-nosed son of a... Calm down, Revolver Man. Calm
But
down.
yeah, like I don't know about you guys, but do you smell a title push for this guy? Like I think he's really hot. Like,
Definitely.
It seems logical. It honestly seems like all the build-up they've been doing with Bully Ray, his previous feuds, it really seems like there's a title run in his future, and that makes perfect sense.
It definitely does. I mean, you can just hear it in the crowd reactions. When this guy speaks, everybody listens. He is easily the most over heel in TNA right now.
I know I'm sorry audience, but we made a mistake. We didn't say that like when Bischoff and Hogan came out, they got some of the most immense heat you could ever hear.
I mean,
like,
they were stealing fans' signs. It was
it's I haven't heard anything like that since like Bash at the Beach '96. You know,
it's so great that those guys can really come back to revitalize their careers. You know, everybody's saying, "Oh well, Hogan's washed up, Eric Bischoff is washed up." Look at what they're doing with TNA.
They proved how many good ideas they still have. Of course, Vince and Triple H's fucking egomania will never let them ever see the light of day in WWE. So thank God Dixie Carter was there with her family company to let these ideas blossom.
Did you guys know that TNA Impact actually has better ratings in the UK than it does in the US? Apparently people in the UK are way smarter than us people in the States, because I don't understand why
they're high class. They have refined tastes. What do you think? They're England.
Exactly. It's the old country.
Though they don't always turn out the best people, and we'll get to that.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Yeah, like before the next commercial, we see Orlando Jordan. You know, like where has he been for so many weeks? Like it's been so dry without him. Like, and he's wearing these rainbow angel wings. Like number one, he's funny. Number two, it's so great that he gets to express himself. You know.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Orlando came out with this gimmick, and it really is encouraging those who live a different lifestyle to, you know, come out, be proud of who you are. It's such a forward-thinking, progressive thing.
It's really hard to put into words how great this is. That they're letting this man have this freedom. I mean, I remember when he was in WWF and he was part of the fucking, what the hell was JBL's little...
The Cabinet.
The Cabinet. Yeah, Chief of Staff. Yeah, that's big. That's big. But here, it's incredible. It really is incredible how much freedom and love you see in TNA, how much support they have for each other, how much support they have for the fucking people around the world.
We're gonna keep up with the people who are just underappreciated, underrated, like they never got their due. Jeff Jarrett and Karen Angle, who's like quite the talented personality. Like you never think that someone who is not trained at all and like not like you wouldn't think that she's cut out for this, but like she really does a good job acting.
I mean,
her voice is so not shrill. I don't understand where that complaint comes from. It's so not shrill. It's shrill.
The fucking WWE PG marks who got to go and shit on everything because it's not part of their sports entertainment.
Oh, but they love Vicky Guerrero, right? Who the fuck is Vicky? What did Vicky ever do?
Vicky Guerrero stuck her cooch in the right person. That's what she did.
God, dude, seriously, hold on, stop. don't give me that mental image. Oh, you bastard!
But why don't all WWE fans just go slit their wrists and have a doctor come in and stitch it up?
Well, we'll get to that later. Especially of course, one comment I want to make, how ingenious is this network angle? This group of power master puppeteers in the back, keeping everybody on toes.
It has so never been done before. It's so original. I can't even put it into words how original it is.
Yeah,
it makes me wonder who came up with it. Could it have been Russo, Hogan, Bischoff?
I mean,
Maybe
they're all
three of them.
I'm sure it was a group effort, Like
it couldn't have been that hack Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to think about what network they're on. They're on Spike TV, and they provide some of the best, most rewarding programming I've ever seen. I mean, reruns of Star Trek Voyager, Mansers, 1000 Days to Die.
The best, as a Trekkie myself, the best Star Trek show, I might add.
Yes, Janeway for the fucking win.
Yeah, and the icing on the cake is the VGAs at the end of the year. They still really represent me as a gamer. Like, I've never got that kind of representation on TV.
Jeff Keighley, you are a genius.
And for all our mystery fans, all the CSI they provide us. I mean, I could turn on mystery. I'm a huge mystery fan, and it's great to see CSI get some of the respect it finally deserves compared to other shows or books that claim to be mystery. But
I mean, I can turn on Spike TV any time of the day and have a fresh episode of CSI waiting for me. How awesome is that?
Okay.
I know, and even if it's the same episode, which unfortunately it normally is, I still feel rewarded.
Exactly.
Well, that's how much respect they show to the show. I mean, you rarely see that in other networks, but we have to get back to TNA.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Now we have Scott Steiner and Crimson, whoever the hell he is, versus the upstarts Inc. with EY and OJ on commentary. That like portion before the commercial was definitely a good lead up. Like who would want them on commentary? It's like when Booker and Kevin Nash did it. They're just natural voices, natural funny voices.
Well, before Booker T sold out and went back to the fucking WWE, poser.
Oh, what were you thinking, Booker?
Yeah, you want to just talk about fake. You talk about someone going back to like such a phony gimmick.
I mean, him and fucking Kevin Nash, Diesel, really Kevin Nash? You want to be Diesel again?
T94 called. They want their gimmicks back.
Yeah, I think
they totally piped in that sound for that pay-per-view.
Oh,
yeah, definitely.
They pipe in everything.
One thing was genuine though. I heard the sound of like about 1 billion 50-year-olds barking out. I mean, Shannon Moore just continues to show talent, like with just such awesome psychology in this match. Like he puts on Steiner's chainmail, he does the push-ups, like he's sticking it to him, like both in kayfabe and shoot.
Definitely. I mean, Shannon Moore, like we said before, there's no reason why a Shannon Moore couldn't be a world champion in the WWE. Why couldn't Shannon Moore be WWE champion? But no, we have to give Edge his 100th fucking title reign.
Wait, no, we gotta give Cena his 13th year as champion with the fucking spinner belt.
Oh yeah, fucking Cena. And by the way, thanks for squashing Miz. Thank God The Rock came back and fixed that situation.
Yeah, I mean, Miz totally failed as WWE champion. Just completely failed. The whole time, all he did was get squashed by Cena, and it's just, he completely failed.
And once again, Triple H has to take all the heat from all the shows and put it on himself with his stupid fucking feud with the broken down piece of shit Undertaker.
Yeah, he relegated
the Undertaker.
He relegated a former champion to the mid card and a young third generation up and comer. How could you do that? Who's your father, Triple H?
Who's your wife?
Ooh.
Indeed.
Get him. Get him. You speak the truth. That's why I love you guys, man. We speak truth.
Thank you, no. Thank.
That actually sounds like you've been holding that one in for a while, Revolver Man.
Well, I have my problems with Triple H. I got my problems with Triple H.
But back to this. But let's not talk about the fucking WWE anymore. Let's get back to Impact.
Yes. We had this great show and we talked about WWE. What are we doing?
Well, I think I know what we aren't talking about is because Steiner and Crimson went over, which is like why would you do that if you have like fresh talent? Though they were succeeded by EY and Orlando Jordan about to make a statement. Though that what happened after that was even worse. The fucking British invasion. Like we never see him, and now they're beating someone down. Like why the hell would they book that?
Why are we? You know, as much as I loved England for knowing what good wrestling is, they seem to put out some bad wrestlers.
Oh, hi, William Regal.
Oh, Desmond Wolfe. Oh, I'm sorry. If you want to be all inside about it, Nigel McGuinness.
And that frickin' Daniel Bryan. He's British. He's such a terrible wrestler, he has to be British.
Definitely.
You know, I'm glad he passed on. I really am. But wait, no. I'm glad he passed on TNA because TNA would have just thrown him to the curb where he belongs. Maybe go back to that Ring of, what is it called? Glory? Something.
Ring of
Valor.
Rings. I think it's the Ring of Rings.
What was next?
Actually, there's a clever bit of editing they did. Mr. Anderson did a promo in front of a poster of himself in lockdown where he's talking about like Sting getting his apology and like of course he's not going to do that. But he like Anderson apologizes to no one. You just won't see that happen.
Exactly.
You can't do that.
Well, that's because he's epitome of badass right now. Like, why would he apologize? That would just ruin his gimmick. That would make him less of an asshole, and that's exactly what he needs to be. He needs to always keep up with the asshole.
What Anderson is doing right now has never been done before. There's never been a character like this that walks that thin line between heel and face. There's never been a guy like that in the history of professional wrestling.
I mean, one could argue that
Stone Cold Steve Austin, but screw him.
Yeah, he's not around anymore.
Austin's nothing compared to Anderson. Anderson took Austin's gimmick and turned it into pure gold.
Yeah,
Cold. Hey, Stone Cold, why don't you go back and drink another beer? No one drinks in TNA. They have a comprehensive drug and alcohol policy in TNA.
I mean, Dixie even told that to Congress. Or did Vince say to Congress? Oh, wait, no. He was being fucking tried by Congress.
I mean, just look at Jeff Hardy. Jeff is such an upstanding citizen. It's too bad that he's being railroaded by this fucking American justice system.
Yeah,
I think it must have been WWE. Because you notice, as soon as he left the WWE, he got charged.
It had to be.
Yeah, there's got to be some kind of hanky-panky going on. But just to sum up, like if Steve Austin wasn't enough for Bischoff back in '95, then like really he can't draw a fucking single dime.
Whatever.
Maybe he got lucky.
Again, we're talking about this WWE bullshit, man.
Yeah, we should be talking about the fact that like Jeff and Karen like are devising this wonderful heel plan. Like they're in front of that same poster of Mr. Anderson. Like you see what you did there with that parallel imagery.
Yeah.
And they're like basically Jeff Jarrett is complaining about Mr. Anderson being on the poster, and like he's always been that kind of heel, you know. Like he's always had kind of sniveling, kind of sneaky spots like that.
Yeah, I've never understood why Jeff Jarrett didn't get more opportunities. I mean, obviously, how much money did this guy draw for WCW? I mean, millions. Yeah, millions by himself. People paid to see Jeff Jarrett when he was WCW World Champion.
The facts back us up. The numbers back us up, but they've been buried 6 feet under by WWF, WWE, PG, and all their spin and revisionist history and all that shit.
Ugh.
But anyway, we're gonna get to like an even better few. Like I don't really like Generation Me again. Like they seem kind of like they're very flippy, but like TNA's doing good things with them. Like you
This
expected them to.
This breakup is exactly what the doctor ordered. They didn't work as a tag team. They were a pretty poor tag team.
I mean, they had no.
But I have to commend TNA for letting them have a chance as a tag team. They let it run its course, and now at the logical moment, they're ending it.
I mean, they've been in TNA for what, 6 months? It's time, man. It's time for them not to be a tag team anymore.
I mean, hey, look at Bully Ray. We were just going on about that.
Exactly.
We'll only find out now who the better one is.
Mm-hmm.
But this angle will breed that. And they have a match, like, it's got kind of good psychology in this. Jeremy very, very kindly lets Max in the ring after they go outside, and he offers him a handshake. Max takes it and he puts him in a headlock.
I mean, that's brilliant.
We
that's
know
brilliant.
what the deal is.
That's old school ring psychology right now. I mean, that has to be Ric Flair's influence right there. I mean, Ric Flair is taking these guys and he's saying, look, man, this is how you work a match. This is how you work a crowd. That psychology, that was match of the year worthy to me. I mean, maybe I'm a mark, but I think that was match of the year worthy to me.
Nah, we're not marks, but let's not get past that. Like, I'm kind of on the fence about this one. Like, I love the beautiful people, like Angelina Love and Velvet Sky. Like, they're pretty much they're redefining women's wrestling. Like, they're kind of they're doing their own thing, and then they get like another kind of they have Winter stealing their spotlight. Like, what do you guys
remember how poor the Knockouts division was, and once they set all the focus on the beautiful people, it really kicked up. So maybe they're hoping if they keep Winter around them, she'll pick it up. It's a very smart idea by TNA, letting the good talent absorb the bad talent to make them all good.
It's definitely. I mean, who cares about Gail Kim? I was so happy when Bubba got that fat load Amazing Kong fire. Kong, Amazing Kong, whatever the fuck her stupid little name is. Who
wants to see a redneck woman wrestle? Like it's just in poor taste,
Going back to Bubba the Love Sponge for a second, it's a goddamn shame that political correctness. Yeah, this is wrestling. We're not politically correct here in wrestling.
We're fucking edgy.
Exactly. That's
what do you think cross the line means?
Yeah, but all of the groups. Oh, he said bad things about Haiti. He said bad things about Kong. Oh, my vagina's full of sand.
Whatever. But you know what? Even though Winter is sucking this whole angle up, it's still not bad because there's a mystical element to. Basically, Winter has control of Angelina. Has supernatural elements like this ever been bought into TNA? Bought into wrestling in general?
That's Russo, once again, he's always talking about originality, always talking about seeing things we've never seen before, and he's done it again. I really don't know where he comes up with this stuff. I know I couldn't book nearly as good as him.
I mean, it's doing what the Generation Me Discord is doing. It's redefining the characters. It's evolving them. It's adding nuances to them. Like it's not there's no good or bad. There's no like good or evil. It's people. It's real people. Well, we got like I'll gladly take it. We got the gift that keeps on giving, Mr. Anderson. He comes out for another segment. Like
another brawl. It is so necessary.
I thought that this would be over with him, but like it's almost like a second encore. They bought him back. Like they bought like kind of Sting back, and while I'm not too fond of him like in comparison, nonetheless like they have like this epic beatdown and then like just like the heel triumvirate, like the power heel triumvirate, Bully Ray, Abyss, who like his return last week was just monumental and
I could not wait to see Abyss back, and when it took my breath away. It really did.
I mean, it just goes to show you this is the right way you book a guy that looks super strong. You know, in WWE, they don't have John Cena sell anything. Abyss sold a bat with nails in it for how long? He sold it.
Yeah, John Cena
He sold it so well, I'm pretty sure he never left the impact zone.
Exactly. They just, even though there was no cameras on here, there's such a respect for selling and the art and the business that Abyss just was probably lying in the back the 2 months, just psyching himself up for his return.
You guys though, we forgot probably the icing on the cake, and I can only say this in 3 words: Matt fucking Hardy.
Oh my god!
That's the only thing you can say to describe just how phenomenally badass he is. Matt fucking Hardy.
Cold blood.
Hairstyle, the pants, the jacket,
the hair, that awesome hair.
He always talks about how he's been through a lot, and it shows, you know.
I mean, that slut Lita broke his heart. His best friend broke his soul. And then WWE...
And guess how WWE reacted to that? They put the title on the best friend.
And he's not even over. He's not even over.
But yeah, RVD tries to come in, like, presumably to kind of play the good guy and interrupt it. But again, like gray-colored nuances. He just leaves. He walks away. Completely different perspective on this, like, ever fresh character. I mean, he keeps it the same, but he redefines it at the same time.
Yes, precisely, sir. Precisely.
I mean, shades of gray is the way to go in professional. Who wants heels? Who wants faces? That's old. You want heels and faces? You want heels and faces? Go back to the 50s.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, say hi to Gorgeous George. Like, he was he pretty much showcased that entire thing, but that's over now.
It's ran its course. It's honestly ran its course. Now it's about keeping everything in the middle. Gray. It's all about the gray.
There are no real good guys or bad guys in life. But we
nonetheless, we go back to Jeff Jarrett, Karen Angle. They're faking 911 phone call. they're trying to get Angle arrested. Who like, let's face it, like they're kind of portraying Angle in a bad light, but who the fuck cares? He's washed up. He's a bag of he's pretty much Mr. Glass by now.
Angle.
What the fuck has Kurt Angle ever done? I mean, besides break his neck.
Kurt Angle should thank his lucky stars. TNA has enough respect for people that they keep him around.
Yeah, the only thing he's ever accomplished is getting some kind of medal in some gay ass amateur wrestling.
Oh, amateur wrestling. Yeah, this is pro wrestling, buddy. That shit don't matter.
You want amateur wrestling? Go to Russia.
Yeah, go back to Japan.
Or Mexico. Or Canada. Fucking Canada.
Who the fuck likes Canada?
I mean, Ric Flair cuts a promo basically saying, who cares about RVD? Who's RVD? And like, bitch, I got a question for you. Who the hell were you, are you, or will you be? Like, you're just going to keep losing your money. Like,
yeah, why don't you go find another wife, Flair? Who the fuck has Ric Flair ever beaten?
Yeah, more.
You know who he has beaten? The only person who will ever let him be beaten by him? Triple H. Because Triple H is basically a Ric Flair ripoff. And picture that in your mind. Ric Flair, but done worse.
Again, more gray-haired old people, like, except he uses bleach. Like, he's so insecure that he needs to hide it.
The only reason Ric Flair is a star is because Hulk Hogan made him a star.
Exactly. And, you know, he tries to hide his gray hair, but he can't hide that bald spot.
Nope.
Yeah. We go from there. We have another Immortal promo, like another, like, just like business as usual, like good heels. It's working. And then we have Velvet Sky cutting a promo on Winter. I'd rather see her than Winter. Like, again, like, they make it even more real because, like, the premise was that she's doing this while Anderson was going out to do his promo with Sting. his interview with Sting, and you could hear his music going on in the background. It's really quite cool. Again, like this backstage stuff.
Yeah, I mean the editing in TNA is just awesome.
It's real. You got that real camera. You got shots you'd see in real life rather than Hollywood. Really, it's simple stuff that everybody seems to overlook. But I guess that's what Russo talent is.
Whatever.
And then
people don't get it. People just don't get it.
We're probably just trying to avoid the fact that like the Angle's coming out. He's calling out Jeff Jarrett, and
where
honestly,
does he get off? First of all,
Jeff Jarrett, just fast forward to the pay-per-view. Have Jeff Jarrett beat him. Like have him put the stip on about retiring. We don't have to see him anymore. Like, I mean, he has a match with like Rob Terry, which seemed promising, but that ended quickly. He put him in the ankle lock, which one of the most unconvincing moves. Like, does that ever look like
Cole used that move? Michael Cole used that move. That's how unconvincing that move is.
I mean, the ankle lock. What is he trying to be? An MMA guy? MMA is never going to be huge. It doesn't do half the buy rates that TNA buy rates do. It's just nothing.
And what the ankle lock? Ooh, you hurt their ankle. Whoa. I mean, what about, like, let's use one of the great finishing moves of all time, Hogan's leg drop. That hits on the neck, man. You know what happens when you lose your neck? You die. What happens if you lose your ankle? Nothing.
So basically, like, you know, Angle after the match, after that kind of fluke, he chases Jeff Jarrett down, like, backstage, and as if he were sitting in front of the wheel of his car with, like, completely drunk, the cops arrest him.
Well, I have to mention, the cops arresting, that's fucking original. I mean, it's bringing real life to wrestling.
Yeah, I mean...
Interesting enough.
When's the last time you saw a wrestler get arrested on TV?
Exactly. I don't remember, that's for sure.
But actually, though, we're going to have to get to the end of this show, unfortunately, and for a number of reasons. Like, just besides the fact that we're so excited talking about this, like, this was a wonderful episode of Impact as always.
We can't do the show justice either. We really can't do this show justice. Like, if you can, go check out the clips on YouTube. Go to TNA On Demand. Go to TNA On Demand, get an account, and watch it again. Because all we're doing is giving you the cliff notes, and that does no justice to this show.
But there is another unfortunate thing that happened at the end of the show, like, which was preceded by like an absolute jewel. Like, we had the 6-man.
How brilliant it is to give people a taste, just the littlest taste, of the Lockdown pay-per-view in the show before the pay-per-view. I mean, I guess the true definition of a genius is seeing what's out on the open, because it's so simple. It's so good.
It's boggling that no one ever thought about it before. And it just shows you how simple-minded most wrestling promoters are. What we want to see, don't make us wait for the match, and then, you know what? Maybe I don't buy Lockdown. Maybe I don't buy Lockdown. But at least I got that match. You know what I mean?
No, but yeah. Like,
I already got a taste, a slice of Lockdown.
You have, and the thing is, it's Bully Ray, Abyss, and Matt Hardy versus RVD Anderson and Sting. Fact is, like, again, like, no heels, no faces. This is just, like, real competition. Like,
yes, it's
whoever wins, like, they'll have a damn good match.
Damn right. It's time we saw some good wrestling in wrestling. I mean, what the hell is WWE offering? Once again, the son-in-law versus the washout. That's going to be headlining your fucking WrestleMania. I mean, really, Triple H must be jerking off Vince the same time he's looking out Stephanie.
Oh, whatever. Let's talk about this awesome main event.
Yes.
Wasn't all awesome, but again, like, we'll try as hard not to avoid that and just kind of gloss over what happens at the end. But nonetheless, like, this was a real treat. Like, again, amazing psychology with this.
Mm-hmm.
We have Sting beating Anderson down. it again, like, discord within the faces. Like, it keeps you guessing. Like, it keeps them vulnerable.
Shades of gray once again, because you can't have your faces looking strong because they'll get boring.
Well, yeah, and and the best part is, like, in WWE, Sting would have squashed his differences with Anderson to have him help beat down Immortal. And and that's stupid.
But yeah, and basically, like, throughout the match, like, again, funny, like, edgy, Anderson sitting in a chair watching the entire thing like he doesn't give a shit.
Once again, it's that perfect. It's really the pinnacle of gimmicks at what Anderson's doing. The asshole. I mean, I'm just trying. I really can't think. I mean, I'm a student of wrestling. I've been studying wrestling since, like, the Romans were doing it. Remember when that Roman gladiator, or that Roman wrestler in that Legion became Roman Emperor? That's how big it used to be. And TNA is bringing it back up there.
Oh, yeah, definitely, for sure.
But yeah, we get into a normal tag match, like a lot of brilliant spots. Like I can't, it's like I can't remember them, but like I'm definitely gonna give this a rewatch. Like quite a few, like maybe a dozen or so rewatches until the next Impact.
The thing is, though, at the end, bit of a record scratch, but you can't expect perfection all the time.
Yeah, it's like it's pretty much just a legion of all the piss poor, like untalented, like never were kind of shitty legends. We have Fortune. We have this like for some reason who have like basically half the belts of the company. They may as well have the knockouts on the women's tag.
Well,
but we have Kazarian and Beardmont.
It's TNA trying to give everybody a fair chance, and as bad as it might be, you got to commend TNA for respecting the new guys, giving them the money they deserve, and really putting them out there and making them look great. However, like what I was talking about was not Fortune. As kind of bad as Fortune was, at least they work with TNA. They've been there, but fucking Christopher Daniels shows up.
Yeah, didn't they fucking fire his ass last year? Like
they got rid of him for good reason. Then they brought him back. My only guess is that that compassionate man Russo must have felt sorry for him. And I heard he was in that Ring of Rings company, fucking making nothing. So
yeah, fell into a burning ring of fire.
Yeah, it probably it probably wasn't anything. He probably just won a banana playing bingo. Like it's
once again, Russo felt sorry for this eyebrow shaving retard and gave him another chance. And as much as I don't want to see Christopher Daniels, I love TNA for how much respect they have for this business and how they want everybody in this business to succeed and make money. And Dixie Carter's big family.
Yeah,
this is family. I feel like every time we watch an episode of Impact, we're part of the extended TNA family. They all respect each other. They all love each other. They're all looking out for each other. No one has to put over a guy like Christopher fucking Daniels. Who is this douchebag? How much does this guy weigh?
Yeah, it's like they're unfortunate byproducts of them just being the best company. Like they basically they allow someone talent such as Orlando Jordan to completely express himself. So by doing that, they have to let Christopher Daniels wear his fucking eyeliner. Ever heard of a guy that wears eyeliner? We're getting a little bit queer street over there.
Yeah, really.
Wherein
don't make the world, folks.
Unlike Orlando Jordan, Christopher Daniels just brings everybody down.
Yeah, definitely. But you know what? This show did end up on a good note because, unfortunately, for some reason, we love Spike TV, but they canceled Reaction. What was up with that? But
I really don't know. The ratings for that were through the roof. But the same reason probably why we see All Stars on the thing. I am really worried that WWE is starting to really infect Spike TV because you got to remember they used to be on Spike TV until they realized how bad they were, but they left that little seed of corruption.
Yeah, clearly WWE still has some stroke over there, but we still get our reaction bits on Impact now, and that's what we want, to see those extra storyline bits. So the last 10 minutes of the show was just story, no wrestling. I'm okay with that. Sometimes you don't need wrestling all the time on a show called Total Nonstop Action.
Exactly. The action is the story. The fucking awesome Bischoff, Russo, Hogan stories. They're genius. Why wouldn't we want to watch them?
Yeah. But unfortunately, like, again, there was more content for us to talk about. We wish we could say more about this, but we gotta fucking go. And on that note, who the fuck cares about Jay Lethal? I'm glad we haven't.
Fuck that asshole. Go back to New Jersey, chump.
And actually,
go
I
back,
want to end
go
this.
back to that little slum you call home.
I want to end this with just one message. Because, like, I know that TNA has a lot of haters. Like, they're very exaggerative. Like, they're so relentless. Like, they never shut up. But I want to let everyone know that behind every TNA hater, they all secretly love it as much as we do. Like, they can't get enough of it. Why would they keep coming back to it to hate it? They like it. They obviously like it.
Obviously.
All right, guys. I'm the Revolver Man.
I'm Mr. War Machine.
I'm No Leaf Clover.
And I'm Christopher Says, and like we're just clamoring for the next week's episode.
Yeah, we're so ready for next week. All right, see you guys later.